Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, kind of left us hanging there, but all right.
still got the music going. Change it up a bit. Hey, I'm Michael Michael, and you're watching ECLECTICKA. I got my man out there on the other coast of the US of A. We have the one and only Drew. How you doing, sir?
I am in mental duress right now. I just made probably one of the bigger mistakes in recent history and downloaded a free-to-play game by the name of Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my PS4 right now. I got this, you can't see it, but I got the TV like hooked up right there. My game stats are on there right now, and I've been sitting up here looking like at it as if I'm trying to solve a freaking math equation for the better part of an hour.
Wow.
Because the gameplay and how intricate, like the leveling, the modding, adding like different attributes and skills and weapons and gear and all kinds of fly stuff to your character, it's damn near endless. And you have a ton of like missions across this giant like galaxy spanning map that you can sit up there and like do different missions on and gain all kinds of loot and crazy nonsense. And this game just it's I can't quite call it like crack, but I will say that it's the closest thing that I've gotten to a game that's like has you ensnared from like minute one. I haven't played a game like this in a long time, and I'm still just I don't know what the hell to do.
You said this is free. This is a free download?
It's a free-to-play game. That's the crazy thing. And if you can bring those pictures up, dude, you will see like the game does not look like it should be free at all. Like one of the homies at my job hit me up to it. Shout out Randy. He sat up there and he was like, "Dude, you played Warframe yet?" I'm like, "Nah, you have to play this game. Check it out. It's free to play. It looks freaking amazing." Like, lo and behold, dude, I would say anyone else out there who's playing like Warframe stuff, please hit us up if you have any type of like, thoughts or questions or anything that you may want to add to this. I'm going to sit up there and say, when it comes to the look of this game and like how it's paced, it is right up there with games like Mass Effect. And when you have other people that like think of sci-fi games like the heavy hitters when it comes to sci-fi action games, they'll say Halo, they'll say Gears. That's cute. This game is right up there with the Pantheon. I'm sorry. Like it's so damn good. It's so damn good. And on every freaking aspect, I am loving it so far, and it's super addictive. And there's so much that you can do with your character that it's like you're overwhelmed. I guess that's the best word that I can use for it. It's overwhelming how much fun and like how many layers you can get into this damn game. It's really good. So,
looking at the pictures, I'm surprised it's free.
Right?
So what's the plan with this? That's interesting.
Well, as I was earlier today, I was messing around with it a bit, trying to mod my character, and you can, of course, purchase the super duper fancy schmancy, upgrades for your gear and stuff like that. In order to do that, however, you need materials. Platinum, I think, is the primary one that I'm working with right now. I haven't come across much of them yet. You can find them in world. You can find them over the course of like different missions that you do. Or you can just be like, screw it, I'm just going to go into the PlayStation Store and buy me some. So I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people are doing. It's kind of like harkens back to, unfortunately, Charles isn't here with us today, but he would probably make it something akin to the pay-to-play thing. Because I know for a fact, those gamers out there who have that kind of bread, who can just drop like, $40 here, $50 there on like X amount of platinum, they can sit up there and upgrade and move along faster in the game because they can afford all the gear for it. So it's one of those things. So I just dropped $20 of my own money so I could get this platinum on board so I could purchase the Nami Solo Blade, which it's as badass as it sounds. And I regret nothing.
Wow.
So
I haven't heard that in a while coming from you.
Yeah. So to answer your question, that's how they're probably making their bread.
Right.
That other in-game purchase, you can purchase gears, you can purchase other characters, stuff like that. So.
And how long has this been out there?
It's been out for a little while. I want to say like over a year. I know it may have been out be older than that, based on the reviews that I've come across it. It's just over the years, man, that it's been, or however long it's been out. Their staff of like I think a little over 100 people have just been, cranking out these updates and switching the game mechanics and tweaking it and making it look gorgeous as it is on screen, as you guys see it. So it's, again, I looked at it and I'm like, this can't be free. This is bullshit. You're joshing me. This is total crap. So, great game though. Great game so far. Totally loving it.
Is it just getting burned now, even though it's been out for so long? Because sometimes things take a while for people to catch on to it.
Passion.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible. I mean, I heard it through a coworker, like a colleague at work, and then in turn I found the review online, and the numbers for this game, I don't have them right in front of me. I wish I should have totally just downloaded them before we started the episode. But when it comes to playership, the amount of people that are playing the game right now, you have numbers that are looking just as like wide and active as any other major like release game that's come out over the last couple years.
Wow.
This is Injustice. This is whatever Call of Duty installment they putting out this year. It's right up there with the numbers. So people know about it. It does have it's I don't want to say critical acclaim because I haven't read too many other reviews outside of what I found on YouTube. But so far, man, the consensus is this game is like, it's legit. It's legit. So,
well, I think that's
totally worth the time. Again, it's free. What else do you have to lose? Check it out. I totally endorse it. I'm loving it.
Well, this is a good segue. You mentioned Injustice. Now, there's an Injustice 2, correct?
Yeah, so we just got, okay, this is dipping into weird. We just had a release, or an announcement, rather, that we got a few new characters in the roster that have been introduced. The first one we saw in the trailer was the Atom, which I heard some buzz, and there was some rumor that he was going to be added to the mix, which is good. Then they had Enchantress. They show her in the trailer. I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Enchantress, that's the side. Then you see one last character come out of this alleyway, and he's in a trench coat. And initially, I'm just like, so it's going to be Rorschach? Is that I'm like, he's a little too husky to be Rorschach. The trench coat comes off, and it's freaking Raphael, homie. But it's not even just Raphael. It's all of the Ninja Turtles. They pop out, and they have this whole, like, they're called arms, we fight as one. So I'm thinking it's not going to be 4 separate characters in the game. It's going to be one character that they kind of cycle off into each other. So you have, like, essentially 4 support characters that you're playing with in Injustice. So, and this is a really weird addition, I think, to their whole thing. I know that Marvel's had crossovers with Ninja Turtles. I know Batman had a crossover with Ninja Turtles. But they're adding them to the Injustice roster? That's so random. I don't know.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's random.
Yeah, it's totally random. So that should be, I can't remember what the release date was for it. So that should be interesting to see how they play as a character, because I know you can chain together different sequences of moves and stuff like that, but it's going to be weird. I know people are divided on it, too. A lot of people are excited. A lot of other gamers are kind of like, I don't know, we could have gotten someone better. I thought it was going to be Rorschach, this, that, and the third. But we will definitely see.
Now, you said there's new posters out for Black Panther.
They released a slew of movie posters this past week, advertising Black Panther. It hadn't dawned on me how many characters there actually were in this until I saw these posters. You got Chadwick Boseman, of course. You got Ulysses Claw. You have Eric Killmonger. You have M'Baku the Man-Ape, which I didn't think they were even going to give that kind of burn. I thought he was just going to be like, angry black dude villain that we have to have kind of in the background for 2 scenes to make Black Panther look good, but that's apparently not the case. And they look solid, man. Like, I don't know if you have them up. You have them, like, listed on the thing. I know this is a common thing with a lot of movies nowadays, especially when it comes to the whole superhero thing. Mm-hmm. You have just the face of each individual character, and they have like some fly ass little tagline beneath it that may or may not have anything to do with the film. I'm really hoping that the ones that they did use for this one actually have some relevance with the plot, and gives you an insight to their motivations as characters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. It just reaffirms that there's so much writing on this damn movie. Like, it's not just another Marvel movie that we're seeing. It's really kind of a movie that hasn't been made before. I don't care what anybody says. You still haven't seen imagery that's like what we're going to see in the Black Panther movie. And I know there's a lot of people that have their hopes up about it. I'm trying not to be too excited, but I know there's a lot of people that are really waiting with bated breath to see what the Black Panther movie brings to the MCU and just to film in general. So,
why do you think that is? Why are people so invested into this film?
Because contrary to popular belief, diversity actually does interest a lot of people. You get tired of seeing Tom Cruise run through, exploding buildings every other movie.
Mm-hmm.
So occasionally you want to see something different this pertains to the superhero film as well. We know the formula now. We've been at this for over a decade.
Right.
I want to say when it comes to these movies, we get the pace now. So it's the issue of, okay, one, let's add something that we haven't seen before to this genre that we know.
Right.
And two, get some new faces into the mix, man. Like, it's about time. These characters have existed for, decades now. There's no reason why we're just now getting this film. And it's just, we say this all the time, but it's salient to just, now, us as a people.
Right.
It's just as a nation, as like a society, as a species of people on this planet. And it's just, why not should be the issue.
Now, over the weekend, I went to Urban Action Showcase and Urban Action Expo.
Okay.
And it was interesting. There was a conversation about independent filmmakers. In fact, I have it on the site at the events, and you can check it on the YouTube, Sonic Eclectic on the YouTube, about independent filmmakers and how you see like there's a pattern. Even Hollywood and a lot of independent people follow it. For instance, originally, when Nolan, his version of Batman, all of a sudden everybody wanted to be gritty, right? That was the key word, right? As far as production. And then you look at something like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now everything is bright, and you got to add the comedy. So now everyone's following that pattern.
Yeah, they do that. So, excessive degrees now too. So it's all about trend, man.
So do you think Black Panther will introduce a new trend, or will it follow? It seems from the trailer it's going to be gritty.
Well, no, I actually didn't get that at all. I got the vibe that it's going to be a dark film. I mean that in several different ways, I guess. No pun intended, but if you're going to be a dick about it, fine.
Sure. Yeah.
It has a darker tone than Thor, for example. It'll definitely have a darker tone than Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's going to have like what's the word that I'm looking for? There's going to be a gloss. There's going to be a strong African aesthetic and a gloss to this movie. You can see that with the images that we see of like Wakanda, and like how you have these giant techno cities, right? Mm-hmm. That also have the ancient, tribal symbolism and all that other cool stuff in it. And then you have Black Panther and Killmonger fighting what looks like something out of a Transformers movie. So you're going to have a mix of several different things mixed with, might I add, the more spiritual elements, because when T'Challa, he takes that the heart-shaped herb, which is like, it only grows in Wakanda, and that it allows you to go into the realm of the gods, or in this case, Bast, who is the panther god that the Wakandans worship.
Hey, is that a drug reference?
It's straight up, you're tripping, dude. And in most cases, unless you're actually a member of T'Challa's family, it kills you. That's the trip about it. So you're going to have a bunch of different things and looks in this one. It's not just going to be, we're going for another Christopher Nolan dark, gritty thing where you're going to have T'Challa standing on top of a, freaking castle just looking down like he's all sad on some bummified stuff. I don't think it's going to be that type of movie. I really don't, because they know that that's the formula, and they know that in order to, looking at it from just a cold clinical executive's position,
right,
they're really banking on the black audience going to see this movie. They just are. There's a whole genre, like when it comes to the whole blaxploitation thing, there's kind of a resurgence of that coming, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be one of their core selling points of this movie. It's like, hey, black people, we made a movie that you guys can actually root for now. Like, legit, go see our movie. So they want those elements there.
Now, because they put so many famous A, B, and C listers in this film, do you think that will cut these people off from doing other black characters or other black superhero films?
No.
Or no? They're just going to give...
They won't, because you want to know why? Right. Absolute worst case scenario, you can just hop ship and just go to the other camp over at Warner Brothers in DC. Because that's what a lot of actors are doing right now. And I don't mind it. I mean, a role's a role. If you're good, if they think that you're good for the role and you're in it for, well, I can't say the right reasons. Right. But if you think that as an actor you can bring something to the role that we haven't seen and you can make that character kind of come to life, I guess. I'm not saying like Robert Downey Jr.-esque, but
look at the pause you just made. And I think that's because we've seen so many people jump ship and they basically playing every character the same way.
It's a paycheck, man. Yeah. It's like you're not going to say no to a role in a movie that you know people are going to see and more than likely support. So...
And everyone in Hollywood is, tell my agent, get me one of those superhero films. Tell my agent, get me one of those science fiction films.
It's a hot commodity right now. And well, I can't say right now. It's been like that for
10 years.
A while, like over a decade. It's just, that's what's in, you know? And they're going to keep doing it until it no longer brings a return. And then they're going to find out what the next big thing is going to be. Right. So
everyone's going to want to do dramas.
Yeah.
I want something serious.
Hey, in the meantime, if I can get some good movies and some good watching and see some stuff I haven't seen a movie before, I'm down with it until the wheels fall off, whatever. I'm a nerd at heart. I'm always going to be one. I'm probably going to go see even like the lame. If they sat up there and made like what would be a ridiculous comic book movie? If they went and redid like help me out here, Seven. I know you've read at least a couple. What's a ridiculous...
I think Plastic Man is ridiculous to have a standalone film.
Yeah. Plastic Man, I would go see that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd be there.
It would have to be a comedy, though. You don't think so?
It can't be anything but a comedy. Straight up, dude. It'd have to be a comedy. And again, I'd be there front row first night. So it's all good. It's all good.
Well, you still think He-Man should be a comedy.
He-Man is a comedy. I don't care what anybody says. And if you're going to make a remake of that, I said this before, I'll say it again. That needs to be the hard 80s, like low-key homoerotic jokes added into the mix. Change nothing. He needs to be rolling around that little frou-frou ass.
Well, you know who would do that? Seth Rogen or Ben Stiller. Those would be the perfect two guys to do that. Now, will it be really funny? I don't know. But they would definitely... Because they're really good at taking old properties and turning them into comedies.
So, yeah, that's basically what they're doing right now. They take that old, like, cartoon or, like, old television shows, and then they just throw a bunch of dick and fart jokes in it, and then that's, like, the reboot. Like they did with Baywatch, and they did with Chips, and they did with 8 other shows that I'm pretty sure from, like, the 70s and 80s.
What, 21 Jump Street,
21 Jump Street. That's another one. That's all they really did. So He-Man could fit in that mold. If you guys really, really are that hard up to see He-Man in a movie. I know maybe 3 people that are like champing at the bit for a resurgence of He-Man.
Oh, I got one for you. Dungeons and Dragons. Remember they tried to do a cartoon with that?
They did a cartoon. They did a god-awful movie like in the 90s that had Damon Wayans in it. Or it wasn't Damon, no. Was it Marlon? It was
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans in that movie. Awful.
Yeah, that was awful.
Awful freaking movie. And I don't know, I've never really been a D&D guy. I know of it. I've read up on it. I might have played it once or twice over the years. I was never really that into it. But they'll probably have something with that too. They'll have something with that too. They were able to get, I don't know how many Transformers movies.
Yeah. Aren't they coming out with another one?
Oh, yeah. They have a whole set, man. And it's not even subject just to that. You already have, like, established films that are getting multiple trilogies picked up. That ties into Rian Johnson and him. Apparently, he's penning like 3 more Star Wars movies after this set, which I think is kind of overkill.
Yes, yeah.
overkill because we got the main canon movies, then we're gonna have the side stories or the prequels, and then you're gonna make 3 more Star Wars movies on top of that. Really?
Yeah, just
Really?
let it rest a little while.
I'm hoping. I would give it a shot if they can manage to take it into a completely different realm, and we focus on maybe like a trilogy that's just about the Jedi. Or maybe no, like real stuff, dude. Like they have a lot of ground that they can cover now that they've kind of like cut the chaff out of the crappy parts of the lore, which was the prequels, episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah, well, the only reason why
So you could go and do a set of.
Oh, you were cutting off on there. The internet. You were freezing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I would like to do something different. As much as still with the Star Wars universe, like, can we expand on the Wookiees? Can we expand on the...
Yes, Evan.
Something.
Let's make a Wookiees movie where everyone's going the whole time. It's great, man. Those subtitles will be really fun to watch.
Come on.
A movie about Wookiees, yeah. I guess you can follow that up with a prequel that's called Ewoks, right?
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to say that.
A movie that's completely with Wookiees, because that wouldn't get irritating real quick.
Yeah.
God, man.
But with all the bounty hunters, I know that would be awesome. Well, actually, they could do a whole thing just them hunting. See, again, it would have to be going back in time, because if they keep saying The Last Jedi, Darth Vader hunted down all the Jedis, the Clone Wars and all that stuff, they can't keep creating all these Jedis. You know?
Well, that's the thing, too, because they're extinct in this main canon. So I said prequel because you could so it happens when there was an abundance of Jedi way back in the day.
Right. That would be cool. And to watch Boba Fett hunt them down, that would be awesome.
No one cares about... yeah, sure, Boba Fett, the most incompetent bounty hunter on the face of the galaxy.
Oh, what is the name of the lizard one?
The lizard one?
He never really gets much play. Okay, so there's Boba Fett, but there's also a really thin, skinny robot that was supposed to be a bounty hunter, and there's also a lizard, like a lizard man kind of bounty hunter. They're in the prequels. They show them really quick, and they're definitely in Empire Strikes Back, but they don't get any kind of play or any kind of love.
Oh, I think I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know we saw Lizard Dude in like a shot in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And then you never see him again. I didn't even think that he had a name. I thought that was just Lizard Man number 5.
I actually had his action figure. I had like all the bounty hunters at one point. Of course I had.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have this whole other like culture of bounty hunters that you could probably focus on.
That would be interesting because they didn't give us anything. It's like a clean slate. Like doing Han Solo, which I'm sure Ron Howard is going to do a great job. But it's like, explore something else.
A bounty hunter movie would be cool as long as you have the right cast of characters and the objective is dope. If you had a group of bounty hunters, right? Mm-hmm. And the story goes, it's like someone, we don't know who, but some really, really rich group of people, they're after a particular Jedi, right?
Right.
And you have this band of bounty hunters that are all charged with, I don't know if you capture him or if it'd be just like killing him. Maybe that could be like the quandary right there. It's like, how do you sit up there and capture a Jedi? That could be pretty badass.
Right.
A movie that's just about almost like a Smoking Aces, but in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
Remember that movie, Smoking Aces?
That's a good movie, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be badass. So there we go. There's still something they can do out there with those.
Yeah, but there's not that much. I mean, it gets really thin really quick. And I'm a little disappointed they're trying to keep making more. Just let it rock.
Hold off on my whether I agree or disagree with that because we do still have quite a few films to go through.
Right.
And between the remaining episodes of the main Star Wars canon, the side films, right, which are going to be about different characters at different points in the Star Wars universe, right?
Right.
You could open the gateway to some pretty cool storylines, I think, once they start to explore more of what's out there, aside from just the Jedi and the remains of the Empire or the First Order, you know?
Right.
So Jury's still out for me on that one.
Okay. Well, before we go, let's talk about another property that might get some shine. It might not. Could be a flop. Could be amazing. Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
What are you
Man,
thinking?
okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to bring this up today just because I haven't really been hearing much burn about anything pertaining to this show. And despite it hitting some of the what I feel are cliches with the genre, I think that it could be a really good one. It reminds me of that one show from the 90s, Mantis, almost, about that starred actor Carl Lumbly, a.k.a. the voice of Martian Manhunter. He was a crippled scientist who had this exosuit that was able to like make him walk and give him all these gnarly powers. It reminds me of that. And the story's dope, and the guy that they picked to play him, he looks like, you know, just a guy's guy. Like he looks like he'd be a superhero, you know? I'm hoping that the show gets its fair due and they don't do some crap like leave it on the death slot like how they did with Constantine, which was a good show. Screw you if you don't agree. It has the makings of what could be an interesting departure, or at least a different take on the superhero television show. And I'm pissed. The reason I'm kind of irritated is that they announced that, well, Black Lightning isn't going to take place in the Flaro universe. So it's not a part of Arrow. It's not a part of Flash.
No.
It's not a part of Tomorrow. No. And it's stupid because it fits right in that mold down to the plot where the guy is a retired superhero. He was active, I want to say maybe as early as like the 70s or 80s maybe in this canon. And then he retired after, you know, he got almost screwed up and like almost dies in like 2005 or something like that maybe. And then there's a resurgence of villains and he, you know, he irons up and he hits the streets again with his powers, and he has daughters that also inherited powers as well. It could be a dope show. It could be a dope show. We've heard nothing about it. It kind of irritates me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's why they're trying to keep it outside of the world of the Flash, because so many, according to the TV versions, a lot of the villains, a lot of the heroes came out of that one explosion. So
it doesn't make any sense as to why that wouldn't be his reason for coming out of retirement. You can't tell me.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
It's like, so yeah, let's just make it a whole separate thing because no real reason, just because. Even though there's a perfect avenue, there's a flawless little nook where he could fit in the plot, in their world, to where it would totally work, and you could add him to the mix. They might change it. They might see this video and see other people that are pissed off and be like, you know what, man, guys, maybe we shouldn't piss these black folks off like that. Let's just make them part of the CW universe. Let's just be safe.
Yeah, because it just
why not? Don't be dicks.
We want to see the possibility of him linking up with the other guy. We like when they link up. It's like creating Voltron every day. Just a Voltron and superhero.
He's already in the canon. He's already in the source. He's already in the comics. He's been there. He's got the longevity, man. He has the history. He's got the steeds. Put him in. Why does he have to have his own little separate area where you guys hope no one will really see him?
Right.
Oh, man. Stop. Knock it off.
The goggles are funny, though.
I love the goggles. You can get out of here. You can end this transmission now if you don't like those damn goggles. I want my goggles.
You want your goggles? Oh, you're funny. We'll see what happens.
Yep. So I think that'll do us for this episode.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Drew. And I hope Black Lightning works, if not for the actors, the directors, the writers, but just for you.
I'm going to check it out, man.
Yeah.
I'm walking in positive on that one.
And anything could change, because remember, they made an excuse to bring Supergirl, because Flash had one of his little moments, and all of a sudden he changes reality. So,
yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because if you can have an alien go from one universe to another, you can have a black guy occupy the same neighborhood as, Oliver Queen. It can happen. It's not that scary, guys.
Wow. And there you go. Sign us out as you normally do. And thank you very much. And we will be here next week. And I am Michael 7 Michael. You're watching ECLECTICKA. And we will see you same time next week. Here we go.